Good afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster this lovely Sunday, the 16th day of April 2023. Welcoming you to this special edition of weekly news roundup that comes your way every Sunday afternoon. My name is Sandra Kahunde and we're coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Well, I should welcome back the people who did participate in the Kabaka's run this morning, and we shall be bringing those particular updates in this very newscast. Now, straight into other activities. Ugandan children dancing group Ghetto Kids has scooped a golden buzzer at Britain the Britain Has Got Talent as such program. This follows an outstanding performance that took the world and the audience by surprise. This prompted one of the judges, Bruno, to hit the golden buzzer midway the performance. The children were led to the show by Kavma Dauda, a volunteer service provider taking care of about 30 children, including orphans.
We are the Ghetto Kids from the Pearl of Africa, Uganda.
Yeah! Oh!
Amazing, 100% deserved.
That's never actually happened. Normally the golden buzzer is pressed afterwards.
I got it wrong.
Yeah, someone didn't explain the rules of Britain's Got Talent to him.
He gave you the golden buzzer and you performed with the confetti. It was magical. And by the way, who's this little one?
My name is Josephine.
Hello, Josephine. How old are you, Josephine?
5 years.
I just want to say, you're absolute superstars, every single one of you. What you're doing is absolutely incredible, and we are honoured that you have come to Britain's Got Talent. You've lit up the stage, and the energy in the room and joy is incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Your talent is unbelievable. And it felt to me like you'd really raised the bar on Britain's Got Talent. So well done.
I was literally exploding, I'm telling you. You should be proud of yourself. I can't wait to see you back. That's all I can say.
I think it's incredible that you're so young, you've flown all the way, and no fear. This is an audition we're going to remember. And it was brilliant. That's what this show is all about. And that's what the golden buzzer's for.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about this group.
I have 30 kids that I'm taking care of. Some are orphans. We are using music, dance and drama to make lives better.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Bless you, darling. That's incredible.
Very incredible. I really do agree as well, and to you, the viewer. Such great talent, and of course, lifting Uganda's flag so high. Congratulations. Now, in other updates, of course, regarding those who did participate in the Kabaka's run this morning, thank you for supporting the cause that the kingdom has at hand. Just getting the facts right, a scores this morning throughout the Lubiri for the 10th Airtel Kabaka birthday run that was flagged off by His Majesty Kabaka of Buganda. Commander Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II at Lubiri in Mengo. Started in 2003, the annual Kabaka birthday run has over the last 10 years rallied Ugandans to join celebrate the Kabaka's life while participating in efforts to reduce the burden of disease. Previous editions have focused on ending sickle cell, fistula, as well as encouraging people to join efforts towards ending the spread of HIV/AIDS. Just like the past 2 years, this year, the run was held under the theme Ending HIV/AIDS by 2030. Owechichiwa Charles Peter Maiga, the Katikiro of Buganda, appreciated the runners for coming up in big numbers to celebrate the Kabaka's 68th birthday, revealing that he's so pleased to see Ugandans participate in this year's run. Buganda can only prosper with a healthy population. Well, welcome back to those who did participate, and of course, as a national broadcaster, I couldn't miss out on the participation for such a great cause. And right here, it's all about inspiration. Now, moving on into state activities, President Yoweri Museveni this week condoled with the Catholic community over the loss of Right Reverend Albert Edward Baragate, the former Bishop of Hoima Catholic Diocese, who passed on at Insambia Hospital in Kampala on the 5th of April 2023. Now, in a message delivered by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, President Museveni said Bishop Baragate has been a great religious leader who used his position to promote peace, unity and development in the country.
By 10 a.m., the setting at Bujumbura Catholic Diocese in Hoima City was ripe for the remains of the foreign bishop to be ushered in. These religious leaders were just a handful of hundreds of mourners who had gathered to witness his official send-off. The choir and its melodious songs were just enough to prove that the life of Bishop Emeritus of Hoima Catholic Diocese, Albert Edward Baragate, was worth celebrating. The readings, preaching and other messages of the day were just on point.
We have lost a father, a brother, and a wonderful friend. We shall miss him. We shall never forget his great contribution to our diocese.
Yes, Christ, my hope is risen, Christ in me, from death is risen, our new life obtained. Have mercy, Victor King, ever crying.
We thank him for his contribution to the diocese of Hoima, including integral social development and formal education.
The arrival of the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, was just in time to to see government fully represented. She was here to deliver a condolence message on behalf of the president.
On behalf of the NRM government and on my own behalf, I extend condolences to the Catholic Church, the family of the late Bishop, and all the people of the Bunyoro sub-region upon the loss of the beloved shepherd. The country has lost a great religious leader who used his position as bishop and influence in society to promote peace, unity, and development.
Museveni contributed 20 million Uganda shillings as condolence, while Robin Anabanja extended 5 million. The president described the foreign bishop as a dependable leader and wise counselor.
In this hour of grief, you must take consolation in the fact that Bishop Baharagata lived a life of purpose and meaning. The late Bishop has departed from us after distinguished service to God and his country, Uganda. All those who are associated with him must be proud of his legacy and the sense of braveness which you feel now.
The president told mourners to follow Bishop Vaharagate's industrious example by embracing government programs.
This therefore is to request you, fellow mourners, to support government's effort towards social economic transformation through compulsory free education for all our school-going children, wealth creation programs such as PDM, Yoga, etc. Finally, the most befitting honor that you can give and render to the memory of the late Bishop Edward Baharagati is to emulate his wonderful example of faithful service to God and the country.
Earlier, Bunyoro Kingdom Prime Minister Andrew Byakutaga had challenged the parents and careerists to embrace training in oil activities as provided at Uganda Petroleum Institute in Kigumba. Bishop Edward Vaharagate is reported to have succumbed to diabetes and hypertension at Nsambya Hospital. He has been laid to rest at Bujumbura Episcopal Mausoleum at Bujumbura Cathedral in Hoima City. Henry Okrut, UBC, Hoima.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, in other activities, West Nile leaders are considering President Yoweri Museveni's wealth creation tour in the sub-region as a move that is going to benefit people in eradicating poverty. This is if the president's advice is implemented through the parish development model. Now, this follows President Museveni's 3-day wealth creation tour of the West Nile region.
In the Ankole area, there were no cash crops by the end of colonialism. So that's one problem. They had cows, goats, but they were not producing money monthly. Then you had other parts of Uganda like the West Nile area and some Western Tacholi and Uganda. These ones had sort of got a bit involved with cotton, coffee, and in West Nile they introduced tobacco. So when we came on the scene, we said, okay, what is the otita here? What is the echibaro, the calculation? Now, if each home has got 2 acres, that means 1 acre is for food, the second acre is the one which can earn money for the family. And if you make a mistake, you will never get out of poverty. That's why, therefore, after some analysis, in 1995, we recommended that, please, let's have 2 types of agriculture. One type is what we call intensive agriculture, where you use a small area to produce a product which will give you more money. So if you have got families which don't have money, are you not their enemy? When you just keep quiet and you come and you, oh yeah, I don't want to be part of that politics. Because God will ask you, you are leading those people. You saw they didn't see where the future was. Why did you keep quiet? Me, I don't want to go to Gehenna. And when I go, I will tell God that I told them.
During his 3 days tour of West Nile, President Museveni emphasized the aspect of being players in achieving money economy, particularly through parish development model.
With the coming of the president, now there is hope. People believe that money can be realized at household levels, especially with the parish development model, which many people did not understand because so many people were lacking information. But he gave the basics, he gave the simple ways of people understanding.
According to West Nile Regional Government Whip Jackson Atima, the president's narration of football players and spectators explained a lot of things in understanding a participatory wealth creation initiative.
Especially these model farmers he visited in the neighborhood, you realize there's a poverty, yet your neighbor is playing, is doing something, is always waking up to go to the garden. So he was talking about those who are spectators and those who are actors, those who are playing. In eradicating poverty, we do not want spectators. Everybody must be a player.
Arua City woman MP Morino Soru on her part emphasizes the need for mindset change and training for PDM beneficiaries before investing their monies.
Let's first train our people thoroughly. Awareness, we should awaken our people about these projects. When these projects came in, indeed it's true, some areas till today, they don't know what PDM is. The other day I was in the field asking. That means there is a weakness there.
Currently, government has disbursed 20.5 billion shillings to West Nile sub-region in this financial year, as National Coordinator for PDM, Dennis Sozi Galabzi, explains.
The whole of West Nile is at the 4th stage. One of them that is doing so well is Zombo district. Then, of course, Arua district local government, which is about 1,600, and the rest follow suit. By the end of this financial year, we shall have another 60 billion on the accounts, putting it to about 80 billion in total for this particular financial year. Yeah, of course, some of the challenges are anxiety in the public. The anxiety is quite high. Everyone feels it is time now to get something from government. What we have been telling them is, please be patient. We need to prepare you. We need to sensitize you. We need to educate you on how you're going to use this money.
The Minister for ICT, Information and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomuzi, says PDM and other Northern Uganda development initiatives are all aimed at boosting regional development.
We know Northern Uganda had periods of disruption because of war and civil conflicts, but thankfully the NRM government has restored peace in the whole country. That is why there has been affirmative action for Northern Uganda by way of designing special programs like the NUSAF in order to catch up with the rest of the country. But the message of the president has been, you produce but with a calculation. Don't just produce anything for the sake. For instance, if you engage like in poultry, there is a big market for eggs in the DRC, in South Sudan.
In concluding his program in West Nile, President Museveni, however, cautioned public servants against corruption and encouraged the citizens to join the fight against corruption in government offices. Joseph Olama, UBC News, in Arua City.
More relatedly to government talk, government has decided to accord an official burial to the fallen permanent secretary to the office of the Prime Minister, Keith Muhakanizi. Keith Muhakanizi passed away on the 13th of April in Milan, Italy, where he had gone to seek a specialized treatment for cancer. According to the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, the head of state has directed that Muhakanizi be accorded an official burial.
President Yoweri Museveni has directed for a state burial for former permanent secretary, Office of the Prime Minister, Keith Muhakanizi. This was during a meeting between close relatives, friends, and government officials that took place at the Office of the Prime Minister.
His Excellency the President has directed that Mr. Keith Muhakanizi be accorded an official burial in honor of his great contribution to the country.
Nabanja describes Muhakanizi as a celebrated economist who made significant contributions to the development of the country by championing robust public sector reforms and offering sound advice.
Muhakanizi executed his duties with a high sense of professionalism, honesty, and dedication. He will be dearly remembered for his remarkable service to our country.
The Minister for Information and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, says government is in touch with their counterparts in Italy to process the return of the body.
And once all the arrangements have been finalized, then the exact timing and the dates shall be officially communicated so that we all know when the body arrives. But definitely we shall have prayers in Kororo, and then the burial will be in Lyantonde, and the President of Uganda has accorded Keith Muhakanizi an official burial, meaning that the government will meet all the expenses for the funeral arrangements, and there will be a gun salute at the time of his burial. And we shall also be announcing the other events and ceremonies that surround an official burial. Once again, our condolences to the family, the friends, the government, the Office of Prime Minister.
Meanwhile, Professor William Bazeyo, a Ugandan physician, public health specialist, and close friend to Keith Muhakanizi, says the cause of his death was organ failure as a result of cancer that he has been treating since 2018.
The reaction intensified, and he went back to loss of blood and complications for all organs of the body. And on Thursday afternoon, it was decided that they now actually stop treating him, but treat to destroy the cells that were destroying his blood, which they did. That was on Wednesday, and he responded well, but over the following 12 hours, he went down and now developed more complications with all the organs failing. And at 7 o'clock Uganda time on Thursday, he was pronounced dead. He died peacefully, he didn't die in pain, and he had a silent death.
A committee to manage burial arrangements has been put in place and is chaired by Haji Sandra Kahunde, the secretary in the Office of the President. The body of Keith Muhakanizi is expected in the country on Wednesday next week, and the burial arrangements will be communicated later.
Moving on, Karamoja Affairs Minister Mary Goreti Kitutu was early this weekend granted a cash bail of 10 million Uganda shillings and her sureties 200 million Uganda shillings non-cash. Her brother Michael Namboya was also granted cash bail of 3 million Uganda shillings and 100 million Uganda shillings non-cash for the sureties. Kitutu and her brother are facing charges of causing loss of public property by diverting 14,500 pieces of iron sheets that were meant to benefit the people of Karamoja under the Karamoja Community Empowerment Program.
As Minister for Karamoja Affairs Mary Goreti Kitutu and her brother Michael Kitutu Naboya were appearing before court. Before Magistrate Joan Yasiro, Minister Kitutu, as directed during the last court sitting, presented 5 sureties for court to grant her bail. Those who stood sureties for Minister Kitutu include Dominic Jududu Mafabi, State Minister for Eudare, Godfrey Wakoli, Member of Parliament for Butiru Kaunti, Manafa District, Peter Christopher Werike, Member of Parliament for Bubulu West Constituency, and Gregory Mafabi, businessman. Through her lawyers Michael Wamasepo, Jody Byamukama and John Musime, Minister Kitutu asked court to release on bail with fair and reasonable conditions. In her ruling, Chief Magistrate Joan Yasiro, following the substantiality of the presented sureties, was pleased and granted Minister Kitutu bail of 10 million cash and 200 million non-cash to sureties.
So everyone's bail is granted on the following terms and conditions. 1, everyone is going to make a cash deposit of 10 million shillings. Sureties. Each of you is bonded to 200 million shillings, not cash. Then thirdly, the land titles, the 2 land titles will be deposited with this court.
Relatedly, Magistrate Asilo also granted bail of 3 million to Michael Naboya Kitutu, Minister's brother.
Each surety is bonded to 100 million shillings, not cash. So should he abscond, please be ready to deliver 100 million.
In the same court, prosecution led by Jonathan Muwaganya responded to the application in which defense John Musime raised the point of sub judice rule on how the DPP's office and the media are handling the matter outside court.
Provided that the publications are not on the merits of the case, we would be overstretching the sub judice rule.
Following prosecution's submissions, defense, however, withdrew the application, notifying court to make a formal application regarding this issue come the next court sitting. This case will resume on 27th April 2023. For mention,
we come with that from the same district with my colleague, so definitely wouldn't want to say that Goreti will run away. How will he run? Then the whole district will have no representation, because all of us here may end up being committed. But that cannot happen. What has happened is not something which is difficult. But
yeah, this is our sister. We hail from the same area. We've worked together in cabinet in the previous years, and as one of the leaders from our zone, I'm glad that bail has been granted. Of course, we all are law-abiding citizens. This is what we have been looking forward to, and I gladly welcome the decision of Her Worship.
Deborah Nama Monde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
You're still watching UBC Weekly News Roundup. Police are holding the State Minister for Planning, Amos Lugolobi, over involvement in Karamoja Iron Sheet saga. Lugolobi was recently cited among the recipients of the controversial iron sheets, which were diverted and shared amongst top government officials. Earlier on, Minister Lugolobi is said to have recorded a statement at Kira Division Police Station in Wakiso District. Now, relatedly on the same conversation, the first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala-Kadaga, this week said she will not return the Karamoja iron sheets. Instead, she will pay for them. The woman member of Parliament for Kamuli District, she requested for the iron sheets to rehabilitate public schools and health centers that were destroyed by hailstorms last year. Kadaga was appearing before the Presidential Affairs Committee of Parliament investigating 25 ministers implicated in Karamoja iron sheets saga.
The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala-Kadaga, has appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs for interrogations over the Karamoja iron sheet saga. The Premier's name is among the 25 ministers implicated in iron sheet saga meant for the Karamoja.
I got these iron sheets for the schools you have seen there. These are children of Uganda. The health centers treat Ugandans. Up to today, they are not getting treatment. So I'll pay for them and continue with the programs. I'm looking for money to build that school, or there's a government school. I'm looking for money to build that health center. Because these are Ugandans, and I represent them. So for me, that's the way.
Kadaga acknowledged having requested for the 500 iron sheets to rehabilitate public schools and health centers that were destroyed by the hailstorm last year.
In August 2022, when the district of Kamuli and other places, I think, suffered severe hailstorms. A number of our facilities, schools, health centers, churches, households were damaged. So I received requests from the population for relief. So I accordingly wrote to the Office of the Prime Minister, and I've got copies of the letter.
The committee that followed Kadaga at her office at Kingdom House in Kampala was led by the vice chairperson of the committee, Naomi. The members wondered why the first deputy premier has not delivered the iron sheets to the beneficiaries 2 months after receiving them, yet she got them for managing disaster.
Ordinarily, Right Honorable, one would have asked a question from the inner conscience. How this donation came up to be approved for distribution or for dispensation. Did it ever occur to you that you should have questioned Kitutu about the source of these iron sheets?
And after receiving the iron sheets, up to now, the iron sheets have not been given out to the beneficiaries that had suffered the calamity. What is he thinking about the iron sheets now?
The line minister for Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goretti, is already in prison, and it awaits to be seen if more ministers will follow suit. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Still speaking the same language right here, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, this week returned the controversial iron sheets which were meant for Karamoja vulnerable community. The Office of the Prime Minister acknowledged receipt of 500 iron sheets which Speaker Anita Among is said to have received. Recently, the Speaker Among described the move to return the sheets as protecting the image of Parliament.
A team from the Office of the Speaker of Parliament camped at the Office of the Prime Minister stores at Namave in Kampala suburb to deliver 500 iron sheets.
So we received the paperwork from Office of the Prime Minister, and we received communication from Office of the Right Honorable Speaker. So as we talk, we are receiving the iron sheets.
Speaker Anita Among openly agreed to have received 500 iron sheets from an unknown address, and she distributed them to various schools in her constituency.
I have sent my personal assistant to take back the iron sheets to OPM.
Now the factory
required authorization from the Office of the Prime Minister to be able to supply the Office of the Prime Minister. It is yesterday that we discovered from the time the factory wrote to the Office of the Prime Minister, they claimed the OPM had not responded to them. So yesterday we got a physical copy of the authorization and delivered it to the factory, and that is why the delivery happened today.
As the controversial iron sheets saga hits hard on top government officials, the Speaker procured 500 iron sheets through MMI Steels Company, with each costing 71,000 Uganda shillings.
It was important for us to identify, because these iron sheets are made strictly for the Office of the Prime Minister. So there was a process that had to be taken to identify the contracted contractors, and it is only the contracted contractors who supply this quality. So the rest of the things we are doing, we are background paying for them, and then making sure that the right quality and the right amount is actually delivered.
Over 80,000 iron sheets meant for Karamoja vulnerable communities landed on the wrong hands, and investigations have since put the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Chitutu, behind bars. It is still uncertain as to the fate of the investigations, despite a move by the Speaker, Anita Among, to return the iron sheets. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Now, away from that particular conversation, getting to other updates for the day. 11 lower local governments, which include 6 sub-counties and 5 town councils in Mbarara district, have received 11 Frisian bulls for breeding to improve on milk production. The donation is from Loida Twinomjuni.
Councillor in Bara, Rodia Twinomjuni, has donated 11 Frisian bulls to improve breeding in the area. The bulls are aimed at ensuring an improved milk production. This was during a 2-day exercise of distributing the bulls in Kashari South and Kashari North that ended with Rubindi sub-county. Loida Twinomjuni appealed to farmers to love the bulls to be able to serve their heifers and produce better and improved young ones that would yield much milk for domestic use and for sale.
Today I'm so happy that I have completed the exercise which I started yesterday, giving out the breeding bulls which I promised the people of Mbarara. I was giving out bulls to every sub-county and every town council. All of them in total are 11. So I've given out 11 breeding bulls from my farm.
Twinomjuni promised the public to visit her farm in Lubaya for more knowledge and skills in animal husbandry. The chairperson, Wiziwera Rutoma Town Council, Tumhimbise Patrick, thanked Loida Twinomjuni for the giving heart and donating to the people.
I think there is something she wants, but before she gets there, she has actually started working as her Throgane Gambano Okora. So we are appreciative and we thank her for that giving heart. Not every leader can think about her people and donate what she has done.
The chairperson, Nyabisisira Town Council, Mr. Ndianabo Deus Dedit, appreciated Lubaya Sub-County Councillor Lodia Twinomjuni for the kind heart.
Lisa ni hayembibo kwendangu tubase kutungura Mbarara yitu.
Anyine and Kansime Santina, UBC News.
More updates. A government through the Rural Electrification Agency continues to extend hydropower to many communities, especially to those in rural areas of Kamuli district. The latest to receive this hydropower project. Kagumba sub-county is comprised of 21 villages. People in these settlements have never gotten power since the existence of their villages. Many residents from these 21 came in big numbers to see the power for the first time. The first Deputy Prime Minister Lukia Nakadama commissioned the project which will serve these 21 villages the power.
This project started in 2019 and covers 105.121 kilometers with 20 transformers in the sub-county of Kagumba.
Kuno no kusoka o aifene kigeno no kusoka nzo kwesigabonanga kumasanyalaze era tidinuwe bagategula 1 2 3
The first Prime Minister and Kamuli woman MP, Rebecca Kadaga, urged residents to guard their property against vandals.
You know, I told my people here that we need to end vandalism in this area, and I told them to organize vigilante groups in each village, wherever there's a transformer, so there's a patrol by the local people to ensure that nobody is misusing their power. And I've also told them, if they see someone climbing a pole, even if he's in some kind of overall, they should tell him to come down and explain, who are you, what's your identity card, where do you work, and why are you up there? Have you informed the chairman that you are here?
State Minister of Energy Peter Lokeris explained that the Ministry of Energy targets to cover all areas.
So in our vision we say we must serve all areas. And there are very many areas we are serving here, and we have also listed them, and I will give you this thing to be read when you are in your districts.
Bugabula North MP John Taylor explained that life of his people is going to change due to this power.
So we trust that it's going to generate a lot of development. You know, young boys and girls want to do small scale things like hair cutting, making small salons. These are the things which have been lacking, that they have to solicit those services from far away from here. And it will start like that at a very small scale. It will generate to maybe meals. And then I think along the way, I trust that we shall have even industrialization coming to this place.
The chairperson Kamuli District, Maxwell Kuwembula Mugude, urged residents to desist from acts of vandalism.
We ask the local leaders to always ensure that there is security for these transformers, because the vandalism effect has been so costly that even when we get the line connected, we have the transformers drained, and therefore they end up not being useful.
The Minister of Energy says that it has lost billions of shillings to vandals.
Now, each time these lines are vandalized or our equipment are vandalized, including transformers, cables and others, of course, number one, we deny power to those who are supposed to be accessing it, and therefore we are affecting the socio-economic development of the country. But also two, each time these equipment and cables, transformers are vandalized, the cost of replacing them is quite enormous, so it denies us the opportunity to move on to the next big project. We instead have to go into replacing facilities or equipment that have been vandalized.
Tibea Country Manager Anderson requests residents of Kagumba to protect the power line from vandals. He cited the challenges they face while connecting power lines to different areas.
Kabalie Police Training College is now in position to impart the necessary IT skills critical in promoting effective policing and crime prevention. According to Ezekiel Emitu, the commandant of the school, resourcing of the institute by Absa Bank is timely.
Kabalie Police Training College has received 17 more computers and projector worth 44 million shillings from Absa Bank. The equipment was received by the commandant of the school, the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Ezekiel Emitu.
The installation of these computers and projectors has come in a timely period for the school as we prepare to graduate into the police academy. That is from the ordinary training programs to other advanced programs where we'll be awarding certificates, diplomas, postgraduate diplomas, and also degrees.
The bank's managing director, Mumba Kalifungwa, said the donation is a demonstration of the bank's commitment to facilitating education, skills development, as well as supporting efforts to increase the efficiency of public institutions such as the police force.
It is our belief that these computers will help facilitate learning and provide necessary resources to enhance the skills and knowledge of police officers, which is essential to building a capable and resourceful police force, thereby contributing to strengthening the role of the force in maintaining law and order in our society.
The two entities concur that technology is very vital and has the potential to boost effective policing and crime prevention.
This will help in digitalizing our records, training officers in computer literacy, in IT and cyber security, artificial intelligence, among other contemporary policing needs, as crime keeps changing from time to time.
And it is our hope that this donation will contribute to the development of the Cavalier Police Training School and aid in the preparation of well-trained and equipped police officers who will serve with excellence.
As part of the bank's drive to conserve the environment through the restoration of forest cover in Uganda, ABSA staff took part in a tree planting exercise, planting 2,000 trees covering a total of 3 acres provided by the school. Kansime Santina, UBC News.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21 hash or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100 *1 hash. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100 *5 hash to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
Pleasure to have your company once again. You're still watching the weekly news roundup right here on the national broadcaster, and we're coming to you live from Nile Avenue. Now, into our business updates. The proprietor of Aviation Training Academy this week appealed to the government to help them fight corruption in the aviation industry, which they say is preventing many students from getting jobs after completing their training in various aviation studies. Captain Mike Mukula made these remarks while speaking to aviation students after the field training conducted at Entebbe International Airport.
The aviation sector is one of the growing sectors after the government started allowing private institutions to start training students in aviation. However, Captain Mike Mukula, one of the founders of the Aviation Institutes, expressed concern over the corruption that is still rampant in the industry.
But I think it is the institutional framework of government to fight corruption using what you call the available means. And there are 3 pillars or key pillars in fighting corruption. One is the institutional framework. Second is the legal framework, and 3, the political will.
Mukula said many students graduate from institutes but fail to find jobs due to lack of information from those who can help them to join the world's leading airlines.
To open up and allow many of the Ugandans who are professional now under the IATA syllabus, where they are trained and they get international diplomas under IATA, to absorb them, if not attach them for industrial training. This is the bright future, and this that the young people are looking at and yearning for. So these are part of the challenges we face, basically industrial attachment and training.
However, Captain Mukula and the students of Uganda Aviation Academy thanked the Civil Aviation Authority for helping them learn more about aviation during the training they attended today.
I want therefore to thank the team and the students and encourage them to be serious about the aviation industry and training and avoid HIV and AIDS, continue to remain healthy and aim high. As
the ignorance about aviation to the people, you find people don't know so much about aviation. And aviation is really a very good industry, the fastest growing industry, I think, in the world right now.
Atuyize ate ebyomunda airport engeri gyekwasaganyibwamu airport engeri gyetambulamu amateeka agafuga abantu amateeka agafuga abakozi b'oku airport buli muntu buli position gyakolamu oba buli sector gyakolamu akola mulimu ki.
They urged the government to provide them with more assistance, especially by establishing good relationships with other countries so that they can get jobs. Lydia Chomkama, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
Jerry Con! Jerry Con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry Con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava! First school fees I teach you. When I'm going to the school, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuses to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
UBC Weekly News Roundup it is. Now to international updates, Sudan's main paramilitary group said it had seized at the presidential palace, the army chief's residence and Khartoum International Airport on Saturday in an apparent coup attempt. But the military said it was fighting back. The Rapid Support Forces, which accused the army of attacking them first, also said they had taken over the airports in the northern city of Merowe and in El Obeid in the west. The situation on the ground was unclear. The army said it was fighting the RSF at sites the paramilitaries said they had taken. The army also said it had taken some RSF bases and denied that the RSF had taken Merowe Airport. A major confrontation between the RSF and the army could plunge Sudan into widespread conflict as it struggles with economic breakdown and tribal violence, and could also derail efforts to move towards elections. The clashes follow rising tensions between the army and the RSF over the RSF's integration into the military and who should oversee the process. The disagreement has delayed the signing of an internationally backed agreement with political parties on a transition to democracy. Well, that's all we had time for this particular newscast. Thank you so much for making time to choose the national broadcaster. More updates will be coming your way later in the timely news hours of the day. Well, my name is Sandra Kahunde, and from the entire team behind the scene that has been led, of course, by the editor on duty, Habimana Dewa. Wish you a blessed Saturday and, of course, a fruitful week ahead.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Jerry.